The looks are the most valuable thing in the person. Those who don't have looks, they are no longer valuable in our society. If a person wasn't gifted with these looks, then he loses his value. What right is this? What justice is this? Is that justice? That a person that doesn't have looks, a person that doesn't look beautiful, a person that doesn't look handsome, they can't get anywhere in life? They can't be successful, they can't be, someone who is known in society, someone who is respected? And now that this criteria has been set, now that the levels are so high, there's so much demand for beauty, put in our words, right? There's so much demand for beauty, what happens now? There's two things that happen. The first thing that happens is that we won't stop until we find what we need. And if time is a valuable asset, time which is the most valuable asset, in the Quran Allah says, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Allah takes an oath by time and says, indeed mankind is in loss. Mankind is in loss. Those people, a majority of the people are in loss because they waste their time. We sit around, waste minutes of ours, waste time, waste seconds, waste minutes, waste hours. We waste days and weeks sometimes without making use of our time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, وَالْعَصْرِ. Time is so important. Allah is taking an oath by the time by saying, time. Allah takes an oath by time. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Indeed, mankind is in loss. How many of us sitting here can raise our hand and say, I use my time correctly? I value every moment of mine. When I'm bored, I open at least when I'm bored, I open the Quran instead of opening up a magazine. Our position has come today that we no longer have value for time. And Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayhi, he says, الْوَقْتُ كَالسَّيْفِ إِن لَمْ تَقْطَعْهُ فَقَطَعْهُ. That time is like a two-edged sword. Time is like a sword. If you don't use it for you, it'll come back against you. If you don't hold the sword straight, you hold the sword from the wrong end, you're going to cut yourself. You have to know how to use a sword. You have to know how to maneuver it. You have to know how to use that sword as your source of offense. If you don't know how to use that sword, you hold it, you're going to end up hurting yourself. So this is time. Time is the most valuable thing that we have. The most valuable thing we have is our time. And now, because we have an obsession, what happens to the people who are obsessed with, chatting, for example, chat. Yahoo chat or MSN chat, when that was a craze, I'm not sure if it's still a craze, but back in the day when it was a craze, people would spend hours on it. Who are you talking to? Some random person across the room. What are you talking about? Nothing. What are you doing it for? Socializing. You don't have enough friends in your hometown? So, one thing is a person, he socializes to learn something. That's another thing altogether. I want to learn the culture, I want to learn something about the person. But this is the same thing in, ASL. What's next? Hi, hello. Where are you from? What do you do? Things that don't pertain to us, and we're wasting useless time. Time is so valuable. People of the past, they valued every minute of theirs, every second of theirs. Those that are intellectual, we will see, they won't even have TVs in their house. Someone came and asked, why don't you guys have a TV in your house? Why are you extremists? I said, whether it's halal or not, that's another issue altogether. I don't have time for it. Why should I buy it if I don't have time for it? If I had a TV, that would take 2 hours of mine. I don't have 2 hours to give to a TV. I'd rather spend 2 hours reading the Quran or reading a book, educating myself, serving the community. So we lose our time in these small things that come around us. Video games, oh my God. Children with video games, it's insane. Parents are complaining my child is playing video games for 6 hours in a row. He can't sit with the Quran in front of him for 6 minutes and he's playing these video games for 6 hours. Waste of time. One thing is a person likes playing sports. Okay, a person who plays sports, that's real good. We promote that. You should play sports. But then there's an obsession for sports. In the sense of supporting teams. One thing is a person keeps up today. Okay, I like the clubs. I'm going to keep up with them. Oh, they played real good. This was a score. And then there's another person who I'm speaking because I had a roommate who did this in England. He was a big supporter of Manchester United. He checked their website probably almost 50 times a day. Every time he got a hold of internet, the first thing you do, ManchesterUnited.com, oh, there's a rumor that this guy might be bought. There's a rumor that this might happen. There's a rumor that this might happen. Why are you looking into rumors for? What is this? This is an obsession that wastes our time. It destroys our time. Now when a person is obsessed with this carnal desire, these carnal desires of his, what happens now? He is now using his valuable time and throwing it down the drain. Throwing down the drain. Those youth of ours that are, for example, hooked onto wrong websites, or websites that shouldn't be seen, or immoral websites. Majority of them, their complaint is that we waste our time in looking at these websites. And one guy said to me that I thought it would take me 10 minutes, and then it ended up taking me 5 hours. Go surfing from site to site, site to site, site to site, site to site. People waste their time in these things. And the second thing that happens is, now because we have, in our society, anything that takes a little value in our heart, it's commercialized. Okay? Anything that has a little value, they commercialize it right away. Okay? They use it to sell their products. So now what happens is that we have this female here, or the feminine, the female, or the male, whichever one it is, that that the community is obsessed with. People are obsessed with this gender, or this particular person, or this type of person that has such and such characteristics. They're so obsessed that now what happens? The business industry comes and takes this person and uses it for their to commercialize their products. Okay? Now we find the females on magazines. What are they selling with medicine? What does a female have to do with medicine? Or they're selling a bike, or they're selling a car, or anything. We go on billboards. I remember in England they were selling tissue, toilet paper, and there was a female holding it. Why did she need to hold tissue? If you had it there next to a toilet, next to a clean washroom, I'd probably make you want to buy it more. So it makes no sense for things that we use this person or this individual to sell things and just for commercialization, for no other reason at all. And I really love the example of Sheikh Ahmed Divan. I saw one of his clips on YouTube, and he was saying in there, he was, for those who've seen it, it's an amazing clip, in which he shows the right of women in Islam. And in there he says that, he was mentioning his own incident, that I was driving once and I saw a car. I saw an advertisement, and the advertisement was of a BMW. The advertisement was of a BMW. They were selling a nice, sparking BMW. And on the BMW there was a female on the BMW, lying on the BMW, which is hardly covered. Probably just one piece of cloth, that's it. Nothing else on it. And the slogan reads, "Take a test drive." The slogan reads, "Take a test drive." So Sheikh Ahmed Divan says, which one? So now we're like, the joke to the side. But the purpose we mentioned this is that commercializing the way the human being is now being used as a tool to sell something. Look how sad it is. Now we laugh because we know the person on the poster there. But imagine your mom being there. Imagine your sister being there. Imagine your daughter being there. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like for people to look at my daughter because some company wants to sell toothpaste and they're showing my daughter's face in the picture. Show someone else's face. Show whatever you want to do to sell your product, you can do it. Write a whole essay there for people. Don't. Why are you using the female as your product as a means to sell things? This itself is a big zulm in itself, in its transgression on the whole gender altogether. Now we move on from there. Now the purpose this happened is that because people, in the Second World War, during the Second World War, because the men were in the battlefield, many American women were promoted to step out of their houses. Before the Second World War, even in America, it was a common understanding that the female and the woman her job is to provide domestic service. Meaning taking care of the house, taking care of the children. This was common even in America. Okay? Now during the Second World War, this was the first time in history that thousands, if not millions, thousands of women were driven out of their houses, either to be put into the army to go and fight, or either which they were trained by female officers, or either they were put into the positions of society where they were lacking in support because the men were fighting in the battlefield. Now for the first time, these women are pushed out of their places. Okay, during the battlefield, when the war is coming to its finishing stages, on the round circle meetings and discussions with the soldiers, there are pamphlets being handed out. What do you think of your wife working in society? This is a pamphlet that's being handed out. Now in this pamphlet, it has two sides of the argument: that the benefits, the pros, and the cons to it. The people come back, those that are for it, they read the literature and they're happy for it, they allow it. Those that are against it, they try to hold up. But this is such a big push because women are outside the house, they're everywhere. What happens now? They lose to the push. They can't hold off anymore. Now when women are outside in the society, in the community, first thing, if a male and a female are in the same office working together, or in the same building working together, what I may say right now may sound harsh. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure it may sound harsh to many of us. But many things sound harsh to us because we are so addicted to them. You tell a child that I'm not going to give you candy, he's going to get really angry with you. But the reason why you're not going to give it to him is because you know he's going to get a cavity. So some things are done for the good, but they hurt when you hear it. So likewise. So now when the female comes, or when the two genders are working under the same roof, or working in the same community, in the same society, what happens then? Affairs begin to take place. Cheating against the spouse. We find out, the spouse who's trusting one another, they're trying to call one another, trying to find out where are you, keeping a minute-to-minute track on where the opposite gender is, where their spouse is, because they fear that their spouse is having an affair with someone. This is very common in our society, okay? This is very common. Probably most of us here that have colleagues at work can probably even testify to this.